Hello everyone, Paul here from the Pin Academy. We're going to be continuing to implement what we have been teaching you guys on our channel and on all our social media platforms. We're going to be implementing them on actual real moving markets, right? So far we have done that for about 2 weeks and we're still going to be continuing that. So if you guys recall in the previous videos whereby we're teaching you how to implement what we have studied, we looked at GBP USD, and these are the levels that I did give you guys. We talked about the market coming to test this area here and then giving us a pullback, breaking above and testing this, and then to come to this area here. Did exactly that. Of course, continued. So if you know how to mark levels, then you could have caught more moves actually. Now, this is all the past, but now today I want us to focus on how can we actually identify other levels, right? We have studied how to identify significant levels, how to mark proper swing highs and swing lows, but today we're going to be doing it again practically in this video. So I'm going to show you about 3 examples of the coming week, because I'm recording this video on a Sunday, so the market is opening on a Monday. So by the time the market opens, you can be actually able to see how does the market react to the levels that we are going to identify, the swing highs and swing lows that we're going to be marking. How is the market going to be operating on them, right? Even if you watch this video after the moves have happened, maybe you should use it to educate yourself and see how exactly you should be marking these levels, right? So without wasting time, let's look at GBP USD. And remember always that whenever you open your chart, always do a top-down analysis. By top-down analysis, I mean that you should have a time frame that gives you a direction, gives you structure, then you should have entry, right? So usually what we do is we start from monthly for direction, then weekly and daily, they give us structure, but one is for swinging, one is for intraday. Monthly is for direction. This is for swing structure. This is for intraday structure. So you have to choose in. That's why we use these 3 time frames to identify that. After that, we go to our entry time frames, which is H4 and H1. Though we rarely go here because we want to make the video short. And also we have given you guys 2 videos which you can use to take your entries. I hope you guys implement them. Now, when we go to monthly of GBP USD, we have already spoken about this. We spoke about this market, this price of GBP USD when we're still testing this point here, right? Also, we spoke about it when we're testing this point here. And so currently we're above this point here, and this is acting as a support right now, because at first it was a lower high here. The market also respected it, and now currently we're above it, but the month is still on, right? Now, the question is, where is the next turning point that the market could be looking at? We have a threat here, we have a turning point here, and also we have a turning point here. Now, someone may be wondering, why am I marking those as my turning points? And I want you to observe this. The market created a low here, turned from here, right? Then gave us a lower high. So actually, I can also mark this area here. Remember, I'm teaching you guys how to mark significant levels, swing highs and swing lows. So the market gave us a low here. Someone can call this a swing low now, right? So the market gave us this level here, gave us a turning point up to create a lower low. But in the downtrend, remember, we're only interested in the lower lows. The market came and created a false breakout and then continued down, meaning that this area here is not tested. So we need it to be tested. Then the market again came and created this turning point, which is this low here, which I've marked using this first purple line here. This area here. Now, the market also did not test this area here. So what do we want the market to do? So we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, then lower low, lower high. The market continued going down. But now, all these levels around here, we have tested them. Now, the ones that we have not tested are this area here and this area here. So this should be our target. Now, we do expect the market to give us a retest of this area here before we continue up. So that's the direction. Remember, we're saying monthly is supposed to give us just direction, right? Whatever we're marking in monthly is supposed to be giving us direction. So we expect the market to give us a pullback and then a push upwards, right? So when we go down to weekly, what do we do observe in weekly time frame? Now, when you come to weekly, weekly is also agreeing with what we have just marked in monthly. I'll just adjust it according to weekly time frame. Weekly so is saying that, hey, I've just broken above this area here. What do I need? I would need a retest into this area here. So meaning that we're expecting GBP USD to at least give us a weak retest into this area in this coming period. And then we can see how it can give us a push to come and retest this area that we didn't test, as we can observe that we got from monthly. So remember, the more you go to the lower time frames, you have to adjust these levels depending on what you're seeing in that particular time frame. So I'll just adjust this up here like this, then I'll leave this the way it is, just like that. So this is how we are observing weekly. Do not add many things to your chart so that you keep it very simple and neat. Remember, when you have many things on your chart, you'll get confused. So this is how our weekly is looking like, and it's agreeing properly with monthly time frame, right? You can clearly see these are the levels that we're focusing on. Lower low, lower high. The market reacted on it, but when we broke down, we never tested it. So this is a very significant level. This is a significant swing low that we didn't test, and we need the market to come and test it. Then the market made the low here, shows that it tested it here, but in a bigger time frame, shows that it was not properly tested actually. So we need the market to come and give us a proper test here, right? So now let's switch down to the daily time frame, and then we can observe what we have here. Now daily also is agreeing that, hey, we do have a market that is actually having is printing out or giving us a very big impulsive move upwards, or an aggressive move. You can see from here the market made a high, higher low, high, higher low. Then now when we're breaking this point, of course, this movement here shows that the market has to give us a retracement into this area here, and it's what I'm expecting in this starting week, right? So the market is expected to give us at least a week retracement into this area before we can continue the move upwards, right? So monthly, weekly, and daily are all agreeing with this. So after that is up to you to choose whether you're going to go with the weekly structure or you're going to go with the daily structure. Remember, when you're going with the weekly structure, your entry time frame is going to be H4, and you have to refine in H1. If you're going with the daily structure, your entry time frame is going to be H1, and you're going to refine in either minute 30 or minute 15. Never forget this, right? I'm not saying that you should stick strictly to this formula of time frame trading, but you can also create yours. We have developed a video on that, and it's already on this channel here. You can be able to watch it in case you have not watched it before. So this is what we have on GBP USD, and these are the levels that you can use, right? This is how you can mark your important levels, the swing lows and swing highs. You have to mark them from bigger time frames. So even if you go to smaller time frames, it is making much more sense. Now, any area that you mark in a smaller time frame is actually giving what we call minor levels, minor swing highs and minor swing lows. So what do I mean by that? For example, when I go to H4, when the market was going up here, it created levels. It's not, we don't really mean that the market wasn't creating turning points or swing highs when it was going up. For example, here, I'll just increase this. You can see the market was also printing in H4, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, created the higher low here, created the higher high. So the market could come and test this area here, then maybe continue upwards. Or if it tests here and gives us a lower high, breaks below, then we can be expecting the market to give us a retest into this area here. So, but when you mark these levels here, make sure you identify this as a minor level, right? And remember, as a trader, you don't want to trade at a minor level. Instead, you want to trade at major levels. So if you're not experienced enough, do not take trades in between here, because this level here is just in between of nowhere. It's between a major level down and a major level up, meaning it's between support and resistance. So you don't want to trade in between, and most traders are losing money in this scenario. So you want the market to either come back down here, then you push up, or you want the market to give you a retracement. If you're experienced, you can take this retracement from here up to down. But if you're not experienced, I do advise you to wait for the market to reach either this major level or to reach this major level before you can look for change of trend to take a trade. Yeah, so this is what I expect on GBP USD. I expect a retracement on it. Remember, we have been looking at all these levels when it was going up here. You can refer to the previous videos. Now, this is GBP USD. I would like us to also take a look at Euro USD. We spoke about Euro USD several times also, and I showed you the levels in which we're interested. Now, let's also start from the monthly time frame. Now, the monthly time frame was almost similar to GBP USD. Let's also mark its levels, right? Now, we marked this area here. We said that the market was above this area and we wanted to come and retest it. I spoke about it when it was still below here, and I explained why it was down here, because it was evident in the next lower time frame. So we expected it to push up. Now, the question is, which area did we expect the market to come to? From monthly, we have this area here that is not tested. Of course, we are going to go to the next smaller time frame, then we shall identify more levels in between here. So monthly, we expected a retracement here, and then we can push up. Now, when I come down to weekly, in weekly, I'll just adjust this. Weekly, we did have this area here. We talked about this area here, this neckline area here that we marked, and we said that the market had to make a deeper push down here so that we can test this neckline here, because we have a W here and we want to test here. Now, also, we said that when the market was down here, we had an M, and we said that after an M is created, we need a neckline to be tested. So the significant level or the the low that we come in test was this neckline area here, that was nicely matching up with the level that we marked in monthly, right? Though it was slightly below. Then currently we are here facing a resistance area at this neckline area here. So there are two things that could happen. The market could either give us a push down, right? Or the market could easily break above, give us a retracement, and we can go upwards. But with what we have seen, since GBP USD and Euro USD they correlate. Why do they correlate? Because they have a similar currency in both of them. And which currency is that? It's the dollar. So we have the dollar in both of the currencies, GBP USD and Euro USD. And we have seen that GBP USD, we expect a retracement, meaning that also this one, since we're at a resistance area, we could expect a minor retracement before we can continue upwards, right? So we want to see, is there anything along the way here that could give us a reason to give a pullback? We don't know yet. Let's check in the next lower time frame. But so far, monthly and weekly are communicating the same thing. After retesting, we expect a push up. Even here, after retesting, we expect a push up. But now we have reached an area of resistance that we wanted to see, right? So far, we have three significant areas, but this one here is done standing out that I want us to adjust. So remember, I said whenever you go to the next lower time frame, make sure you adjust your levels so they're not so big, right? Your level should not be so big. They should not be so big so that they don't cover a lot of candlesticks when you go to your entry time frames. So these are the levels that we do have interest in right now. Now, when I go down to the daily time frame, what do I see on Euro USD? So I'll just adjust. This same area is where the market has approached, is the area that I spoke about that we needed the market to come and test. It was our target, right? And currently we are exactly in this target here. If you're to observe, when the market was coming down here, the market first gave us a lower low, lower high. This area here was tested. Lower low. Now, this area here was never tested, right? So the market had to come and test it. I spoke about this several times. Then the market gave lower low, lower high. This area here was never tested. So we're just going to mark all these lows here. Remember, we said in a downtrend, we're interested in the lows, right? We're interested in the lows. In an uptrend, we're interested in the highs. So then when I come down to this low here, you can see we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So this area here was tested, right? So the market also created this turning point here. If you want, you can mark it, this area here, which the market came, reacted to, and then broke above. And also we had minor levels that we tested here. I'll just mark it here. Now, these are the levels that we had before. You can refer to the previous videos. Those who have been following, you know that we had exactly the same levels. And I spoke about how the market was going to move from here, come back, retest, and then it pushes up, right? Those who are in the private group, well, we have been trading it, but I had a loss here last week because of the news events. The market gave us a small push, right? I delayed to move out of the position, then I had to close a small loss, right? But otherwise, we caught this fast move upwards. We caught this sell move. We caught this move upwards. I did not continue with it upwards after making this loss because I was already, the week was coming to an end, so it was violating my rules, right? So currently, what are we doing? We're at resistance. Just now, monthly, weekly, and daily are speaking the same thing. Weekly and daily. We're at a resistance. Weekly say that we're at a resistance. Also, daily is saying that we're at this resistance. And what are we spotting here? We're seeing that we have an impulsive move upwards, right? So now when there is an impulsive move upwards, what tool do we use? I taught you guys about Fibonacci. We bring in our Fibonacci retracement tool and we draw it from up here, right? So you're going to mark your levels from 38, 50, which is aligning perfectly with this area that I told you that was not tested, right? Then you can mark all of them, but I do advise you stop on the 61. But if you want, you can mark all of them just to make the video short, not long. You can stop on 61. So we do expect the market to at least give us a deeper correction into one of these areas, and then we can maybe go and, depending on the structure created there, we can either create a lower high or we can create double tops. Then we continue down, or the market can actually break upwards to go and test untested levels upwards, if in case we have any, because we do see that we have an ultimate untested level up this side, right? This one here. This level here was not properly tested by price. Price attempted to test it here, but didn't touch it properly. It again came back, didn't reach. It again came back, didn't reach. Of course, some people say that this is a liquidity area grab, but to us, we just want to take it in a simple way that it's an area that was not tested, right? So Euro USD and GBP USD are communicating the same thing. So I do expect a small pullback before we can continue. This pullback area is aligning properly with the previous lower high. here. So if you want, you can mark these minor levels. But our major levels are this one here, this one here, this one here, which we have been marking in all those videos that we spoke about previously when I was showing you how we can actually implement what we have been teaching you. So this is a big time frame. Let's check what a smaller, let's go slightly into a smaller time frame, also identify minor levels. Now, if I'm to come to the minor levels, you can clearly see that this first fib area that I marked is properly aligning with an area of resistance here. This area has resistance and also properly aligning with this area. So meaning that this is the first area I expect the market to react to before giving me either change of trend to continue upwards, or in case it's to continue giving me a deeper correction into these levels, then I push up. So we have a minor level here that is aligning with perfectly with one of the big time frame levels that I marked. So the higher chance that the market could come and actually stop here before continuing upwards. So if you're a trader of Euro USD, these are the levels that you can be watching out for. Last week I spoke about the market coming to test this area here, if you guys recall, and then the market tested and then pushed up, broke this area, tested it, pushed up. So we have broken this area. The higher chances, since it's confluencing with this, I expect the market to come and give us a deeper correction here before continuing upwards. But always follow your rules of entry, because I've shared with you guys 2 videos. I don't know which other methods you guys use. You can stick to them. Make sure you always follow your rules when you're doing trading, right? So that is Euro USD. We can add on one more pair so that you can see how we mark these levels, the highs and lows properly, so that you can realize them. Let's look at also CAD JPY, because I spoke about it in one of the last videos on how you can actually do a proper top-down analysis or multi-time frame analysis. So let's also use it to do an update. I spoke about CAD when actually after breaking this area here. I also spoke about CAD after breaking this area here, yeah, and the market has been moving. I also spoke about CAD after we broke this area. Actually, the first level was after us breaking this area here. I mentioned that if the market broke above this area, we expect a correction, and then we can continue upwards. So let's try to go through it using a top-down analysis, how you're supposed to do your analysis. As usual, we start from monthly. What do we see in monthly? Now, monthly, I spoke about the market being in an uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Though we had a small threat here, the month is still on. If the market closes above here, and then we shall be headed for a higher level. So we have this area of resistance that by the time I was talking about it previously, it was a resistance, it was here. Then also we spoke about this W here, whereby the market had broken this neckline here, but we observed that in smaller time frames, actually it was tested. So when we slope down to weekly, you can clearly spot this is the area that we're saying that was tested here in weekly. The market broke above it, gave us a correction into it, and then pushed up. So we spoke about this card when we're here, gave us a correction that we wanted and pushed up, right? We actually traded this in the private community, and then we exited around some place around here, right? Because of these structures here. So now when you go down to daily, what we observe now, daily is one which was giving us proper movements, a proper uptrend, right? It was giving us this higher high, higher low. Of course, we had an impulse, corrected, higher high, higher low, higher high. I spoke about this area here, even if it was not corrected, even if it was not tested properly, the market could test it at a later stage, and it has done exactly that. So the market broke up here and tested. So all these were entries that actually someone would use if you knew how to actually mark these levels. In an uptrend, remember we have said we're interested in only higher high. So if you see here, we have this high here. If you see here, we have this high area here. The market breaking above, coming down to test these areas. So again, the market broke above this area here and came and tested it. So you can see the market is just breaking highs and testing. So currently, I'll just eliminate everything. Sorry, I'll just remove all this. So currently what we observe, since monthly, weekly, and daily are speaking the same thing, we can clearly observe the market has again broken this high here, right? The market has currently broken this high here. And also we have a market printing an impulse, right? So when the market prints an impulse, you can bring in a fib, but according to the rules I taught you guys, it's not appropriate for us to bring a fib. Why? We need the market first give us a sell candle before we can draw a fib level. So right now, I cannot draw a fib. Right now, the only level I can have is this one here. Of course, when the market prints a sell candle, when the market's open on Monday, we shall draw a fib. But for now, we can't draw it because the rules are not being met. Now, as usual, I still expect a slight push because the JPY is still weak, a slight push downwards on CAD, and then we can continue upwards, right? So in case you know how to trade pullbacks, or if you experienced enough, You can look for change of trend in this area until that point. If the fib applies, because right now it can't apply, we don't have a seller coming to the market, right? You guys can rewatch that fib video that I presented to you guys so that you can learn how to use it properly. So if that fib level applies here, that will be your first target. If it doesn't, then we shall expect a deeper correction from the market before we can continue upwards. You can see the market clearly has been making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So what do I want you guys to take away from today's video, even if it has been slightly long? I would like you guys to understand that in an uptrend, most people tend to ask themselves, how do I mark these levels? In an uptrend, you're interested in higher highs, because we say that when the market is making higher highs, when we break a higher high, we expect it to be tested, right? That's one. Then secondly, in a downtrend, what are we interested in? In a downtrend, we're interested in marking lower lows. It's just like this. When the market is the opposite of the uptrend, lower low, lower high. When we break this lower low here, we do expect the market to give us a retracement into this area. So this is what you're supposed to be focusing on. Do not complicate your trading, right? Just focus on this and everything will be easier, right? And another thing I mentioned is that is key that you need to be observant about is when the market creates higher high, higher low, higher high, kindly do not trade in between here. Trade either at, let's say the market creates this resistance, trade either at this resistance level or at this support. Trade either here or here. Never trade in between here. Most people are losing money because you want to trade in between here. This is dangerous. Don't do that, right? So that is it for this video. I hope you guys got something out of it and you guys can utilize the setups that we have talked about in the video. And in case you're getting value out of these videos, do not forget to leave a comment down, give a likes or a thumbs up button to us so that we can keep making such videos and helping you on your journey to consistency. Have a great day.